It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the 49ers and the Eagles coming up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the San Francisco 49ers. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now a throw here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Throwing now is Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Shotgun now for Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Hines on a toss play. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
and they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where they'll run it to the inside, but it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss.
Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle from 8 yards out. And the 49ers are on the board here first in the season opener. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. To return, it's Peppers. And he won't quite make it to the 25. We get our first look now at Carson Wentz and his Philadelphia Eagle offense.
And when you look at him, you see that he's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. The big frame, the quick release, strong arm, has escapability. The issue sometimes tries to do too much instead of just taking the throws that are available to him, and occasionally turnovers get him into trouble.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that'll be dumped off to Gainwell. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
From the 38, Wentz. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run with Sanders. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. From midfield, here's Wentz. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. To throw, it's Wentz. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And this one is right down Broadway. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially open the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this. To the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Lance going to throw. That's caught right side by Rodgers. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
After the sack on 1st down, Lance. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decided to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile.
That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Ojemudia. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Wentz's throw there taken in by Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On play action, Wentz. He's got it to Fulgham. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Wentz to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal. So that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half. But when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And the Niners ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Throwing on first down. Mayer. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And he's going to have a Niners first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Giants who are out in front. A touchdown pass there for Jalen Hurts. From there, let's head up to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. In that game, all square, they take on the visiting Cowboys. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they too found some success throwing the football. but I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in Week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. To return, it's Peppers. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's Jamie Gillen now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Throwing on 1st down is Lance. He's got this one complete to Rodgers. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 58 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Now it's Hines, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Here's Lance to throw it. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
To return, it's Peppers. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Another run here with Sanders. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Escaping the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And Sanders has got it complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the red zone now, Wentz. And once again, this is Sanders. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
54's Mike. Check. Least line two. Sponge. No.
They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Lefty.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Gainwell. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
And Lance will try again on 2nd down. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, it's Lance. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down, Lance. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Hines. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
To throw is Wentz. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
From the gun, a give to Gainwell.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Right here, right here. Mike 54. Mike 54.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Watch the screen. Right there. 54. Right there.
Sanders.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game.
Touchdown, 49ers! Deebo Samuel, 83 yards. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. And McPherson on for the extra point.
And they will take a 7-point lead now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Throwing on first is Wentz.
That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Nick Bosa showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Wentz. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he'll be out right at the 35. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Flush to his right. Room to run past midfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up.
The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Niners have just about sewn up this football game.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They begin the drive with Hines, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground, finding some room at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. So here we go, Charles, third down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And they, in fact, will throw it. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting by.
Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off at the 47. So the victory here for San Francisco. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for San Francisco, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.
Tried in the fire. Well, tell me, did you come through as pure gold?
You kick it like the benefactor's benefactor. Well, truthfully, we know you never been a factor. Well, honestly, the truth is that you've been an actor. And now your actions got them boys about to mass up. Lectures from the devil got you piping hot. This up and you get screwed and chopped, no Michael Watts. When I was 10, I knew I should have been on rap a lot. Think like Jay Prince and I do more than just rap a lot. I went and got my DJ.